and Cammie Brown from Kent. Okay, can we go move on to something else, please?
What were the group's biggest hits and who wrote
biggest hits?
songs? Yeah, very biggest.
Very biggest? Probably Rockers was one. Rockers I wrote, and that was, MMS played the heck out of it. And one that wasn't played, it wasn't on the radio, but Carlos wrote a song called Who Said Reggae Can't Rock, and that was on our first album. That was a hit. I think Better Dread too, that was on the flip side of Rockers. The Hendrix thing that we do.
Hey Dread?
Yeah, Hey Dread. You know, those are hits.
They don't do that anymore, do they? The radio stations don't play local music.
No, it doesn't seem. No, I don't think so. MMS used to like support their local bands, the Generators back in the day, and yeah, a lot of local bands, which they should still. Well, you know what? WRUW still does. They'll support local bands, college station. Yeah.
I meant a big one though, like MMS. You know.
Oh no, unfortunately, not anymore.
And then 92Q, and we used to have the lunchtime series, but I don't know if they played music.
Yeah, I don't think they played it on the air.
No.
Yeah.
Where's your money?
Yeah, right.
So how did the reggae scene begin?
How did the reggae scene begin?
Yeah. I mean, obviously you guys are one of the first acts out there.
Yeah. In Cleveland, well, as I said, there was a band called Terra playing. They were playing reggae around a couple of songs they'd play, and a very few bands were coming to Cleveland to play. Marley came to like a place on West 25th, Smiling Dog Cafe, and Jimmy Cliff came. They were very small clubs. And no one was really listening too much to reggae at that time. I think when we started playing, there's a couple other Jamaican bands. Black Lion was one. I think John Messenger was still playing too at that time. But they were playing mostly clubs like dailies. They played dailies and just smaller places. The scene early on, after we started playing for a little while, more clubs started to book reggae bands or reggae acts, national acts, and we had the opportunity to open up for a whole bunch of folks. I mean, Peter Tosh, Steel Pulse, and Dennis Brown.
So are we going to talk about that Rockers Baseline or no?
Oh. The Rockers Baseline that Dennis Brown stole from me? No. Okay, well, since you said that, there was this baseline of Rockers. I was in Jamaica, and I went to Jamaica to study my craft and go up in the bush and just study my craft, let's put it that way. And on RJR, the radio station in Jamaica, I was listening on transistor radio, and I was also, I think I had some mushroom tea or something too, and some other stuff. But I was just kind of grooving around listening to RJR, and the station would go in and out. You'd hear something, and then a little bit of this, a little bit of bass, and back and forth, and back and forth. I claim it was the station going in and out. It might have been me going in and out, but I think it was the station going in and out. But anyway, I heard this bass line that's on. So I said, that's a cool bass line. I'm going to use that bass line. And I found out later, after hearing the whole song, it was like a bass line, the full bass line is from Dennis Brown's song, Drifter. But the way we do it doesn't sound anything like the Drifter. Anyway, there you go.
Okay.
But the reggae scene was, it was small, but it was tight, because we got a lot of support from the Jamaican community. I mean, a lot of support. Everybody was open arms, so they just like reggae. They like music, and they're surprised that anybody from the United States was playing reggae anyway. So the early days were, very supportive from the West Indian community, and bands started popping up. Like Sasha popped up, and Spirit Eye, and Steel and Bread, and there were a whole bunch of reggae bands that popped up. And I guess some of them are still playing, and some of them are not playing.
How long were you in Jamaica? Like,
I've been in Jamaica probably about 5 or 6 times.
no, but I mean that time that you had to learn your craft.
That time to learn my craft.
Yeah.
My craft was learned over all this. Okay. I think like 3 weeks at a time, 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
It's like your trip to Mecca, you know.
Actually, because I learned a lot over there. You know, just being around people. The very last time we went over, like I said, we played over there, and got a very good response from people. But they didn't want to hear reggae. They wanted to hear when we played Hey Dread. They loved Hey Dread. You know, I think I told you guys before. Somebody wanted to buy my pedal, for my guitar because he liked how it sounded. But even we played a couple of Marley songs over there, and they enjoyed that too. But they wanted to hear some screeching guitar, man. So, yeah.
Before we get into, we talked about the sound. Let's just talk a little bit about I-Tal sound. It's more of a folk influence to it than some of the other reggae groups that we hear.
Like the difference between our sound and others. Okay. I think we're more of a rock reggae type of thing. Yeah, I think in the beginning, I think we all wanted to kind of portray this Rastafarian thing, hence the name I-Tal. We had to live up to that name, but it's hard to do that when you're from Cleveland. Honestly. Everybody goes Dread, and we believe in the culture, and we believe in the vibes of reggae music and what's going on. The struggle is universal and all of that, And as far as the religious aspect of it too, I mean, it's pretty much based on King James Bible. So I mean, Selassie, as far as Haile Selassie being the reincarnation of Christ, some of us believe that, and some of us kind of went along with it. Bottom line is the music is definitely spiritually influenced, no matter how you look at it. Forgot where I was going with it.
Your sound was sort of...
Oh, our sound. That's right. I say spiritual, and I blank out.
So it came from the period of time in which you started it, probably, right?
Right. I mean,
to some extent.
The sound itself, I mean, it's a mixture of, we're all influenced, United States, so it's like rock and roll and reggae music, so combined. A lot of but see, that's the same thing some of the guys from Jamaica were doing too, because Tosh came over and he had like this rock and, lead guitars, playing rock riffs. It was the same type of thing that we were doing, We tried to bring out the things that we saw other reggae musicians doing as far as the bass. We even went out and bought these Earth Bin speakers. And Earth Bin, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Earthquake. The movie Earthquake had specific speakers which would catch the low end, the rumble of the movie Earthquake. And they're like probably from that side over to here, and they're about that high. And they rumble. I mean, those things, you have to go to the bathroom after hearing those things. That's how low the bass was. But we carry those things around with us. I still feel that. Just to try to get the sound, the low end, Added a lot of reverb, a lot of echo. Even when we didn't have an echo flex, we do the manual echo. It's like echo. That type of thing. And but that's what we heard. We were just copying what we heard, and adding whatever else we could add that we already knew, which is the rock influence. Does that work? I keep asking you these questions. Is that okay?
No, it isn't. We're going to record that segment again.
Well, if you could do anything differently as it relates to the band, would you change anything, or?
change it? No, because everything was supposed to be the way it is. I mean, you know, I changed it, wouldn't be like it is. I mean, everything came full circle. I wasn't real happy when members changed. You know, when I-Tal and some other guys went different ways. You know, because you know, we come to play with each other for a while and became you know, friends. You know, that's like the other night when we were at the grog shop and Chopper came up, because Chopper was a member of I-Tal for a while. You know, right after John Wagner, and you know, these guys were we were real tight musically and tight, you know, friends. But you know, sometimes you want to do different things, you know. So you kind of separate and go different ways. But what happened is it all came back full circle, you know, just the way it was supposed to happen, you know. So I wouldn't have changed anything. I wouldn't change a thing. You know, once I start changing stuff, it gets all messed up anyway.
You talked about the current reggae scene. I know you probably don't go to a lot of shows these days, and kind of challenging to get you to do one. Yeah, you know. So when's the next show?
That's what that was leading up to. I'm not sure. We're thinking. Well, we've been asked to do Hessler Street, which is a lot of fun because we played Hessler. One of the first gigs we played when we started in Coach House. So it's like, you know, memories and stuff like that. Yeah, it's fun. You know, be outside playing. Possibly Midwest reggae. Packy had said he'd mentioned something about that, so we might do that. That's all I'm committing to right now. So
But-
there. Oh,
But
the expo, Body, Mind, and Spirit Expo, we're doing. Yes,
All
we're going to do
right.
that again.
awesome.
Yep.
Oh, it was about the scene today.
Oh, the scene.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Years of, you know.
Refreshment.
Push the refresh button. The scene today. What about the scene today? What do I think about the scene?
Yeah, what do you think about it?
From what I hear, it's, you know, everybody's playing music again. I mean, everybody's having a good time. Like I don't get out that much. I don't go out that much because, well, one thing, I don't party like I used to. You know, I've been, you know, clean and sober for the past 10 years. So, you know, the last place I really want to be is at a bar.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things that I used to do, I don't do anymore. And I'm very happy this way. You know, doesn't take anything away from what everybody else is doing. Everybody has a right to do whatever they want to do. But I prefer not to be out there in the scene. There's some great bands going out there. I mean, Billy Waugh for one thing. Billy Waugh and Champion Bubblers. I've always liked Billy. Billy's an excellent musician. He hasn't compromised on anything. He's excellent. I'm glad to see that he's still playing out there. Carlos, of course. Carlos has a great band. You know, he's an excellent musician also. I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys. You know, John Messenger, not just musicians, they're friends. You know, and all these guys for a long time, they're just friends. And
The Outlaws.
all good people.
The Outlaws.
Huh?
The Outlaws.
The Outlaws. I?
Yeah.
Yes, Outlaws too, of course. The scene, you know, and that's the thing, you know, if I start talking about what about the scene now, I got to mention every band.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'd rather just classify it as all good music, all great music, and not just individual bands. You know, it's all great music. So.
Definitely.